Okay, so when it comes to the Eclipse IDE, you should be able to have an icon on your desktop for setting it up. It should be called the Eclipse IDE for Java developers. If you do not have that, I will provide another video which will show how to actually get the correct Eclipse IDE version. As for now, we'll double click this. And this is actually appearing on a different window for me, so let me give it a moment to load up. Just because there's a specific box that I want to make sure that you are getting to. Okay, giving it, there we go. So you'll get this launcher that appears. This is going to be the path in which all your files will be stored for Eclipse. So typically you want to keep it the same. You could click this box to say, hey, the files will always go in here, but just know that that's what it means. If you ever need to find them in your system, you'll follow this path. So just go ahead and leave that be, click on launch, and it's starting up in a separate window for me. There we go, and it should look a little something, let me click X on here, something like this. If you do not have this interface, again, please let me know so we could take a look at one, what it looks like for you, and two, the steps that we could take to get this correct version. Okay, over here in the package of Explorer, you should see multiple folders, and it works very much like a file system. You open it up and you'll see either more folders you could take a look at and SRC. These folders themselves are called the Java projects. So these Java projects are collections of code that you will be working with. So in order to create that, so typically you'll have no folders in here at first. What you're going to want to do is go to File, do New, and do New Java Project. Then you can name it how you want. So in this case, I could call it Demonstration. There we go. And you typically want to keep everything the same. So all of the configurations you see here, that's what I'm going to want you to do. You may have by default the create module info.java checked off. I suggest keeping it unchecked. This provides for better customization. Okay, so once you at least have the demonstration name, just go ahead and click finish. And the folder should appear up here. So now we could open it. And again, the system library is what allows us to actually code in Java. It provides us with a lot of different functions and classes in order to use it. So that's why it's important to have this Java project set up so that we have this library. Now for our code, this over here, the SRC, that's your source folder. And that's where you'll mostly be making your Java classes. So let's go ahead. You're going to want to right click on the SRC and do New Class. So New Class is the Java file itself. So let's go ahead and do that. And then this is where you have to name it accordingly. So in the case of, let's say one of the projects, you have a project in which you want to call looping. So let's call this looping. Make sure you keep it to public, have no selected down here. Make sure all of the, from here to the name down, these are what the configuration should be, and make sure you do click on this box for the public static void main string args. So once you have this set up, remember from the name down, click on finish. There we go, and then this is how you get your Java file set up. So let me go ahead. For me to increase the view, I do Control, so I hold down on Control and click the plus button. There we go. And this is the general setup. And you'll notice that for the class itself, it already names it according to the file name, so keep that in mind. And you can see here in your, so again, this is your Java project. Then you have the SRC folder, and then there's going to be a package which it just creates by default for you. and within here you could keep on creating more classes. So if you want to keep stuff within this folder, you go ahead, right click the source folder, new class. Let's call this project, maybe this one's going to be 6. Remember to have this public static void main args check marked. Click finish, and there we go. You have another project that appears. So always make sure you're right clicking on the src new class. Alright, so if you do have questions about that process, just send me a reply, send me a message, response, and I'll be able to demonstrate it accordingly. Alright, thank you and good luck.